So if you've been around the vaping community for some time, or if you've at least visited your local Subaru dealership within the last 5 years, then I guarantee you've encountered numerous different kinds of vapors. And today I'm going to talk about some of them. Number 1, the Fiend. Everybody knows who this guy is. This is the guy who, at every party or in the bathroom, he's always like, "Bro, please let me hit your vape, bro. Just 1 or 2 rips, bro, please." I'm pretty sure that the only reason these guys haven't bought their own vapes is because if they did that, it would mean having to admit that they're actually addicted. Moving on. Number 2, the one with the weirdest flavors. "Hey bro, can I get a hit of your vape?" "Oh yeah, I got a couple actually. I got Long Island iced tea, Cheeto flavored, chicken noodle soup." Bro, where do you get all these weird ass vape flavors? Number 3, the Addict. This is the kind of person who just cannot put down their vape. He goes 20 minutes without ripping the Benjamin and he goes clinically insane. And God forbid you ever have to be around this person when they can't hit their vape. Like in my university classes, I'll see these people sitting in the back just struggling. And the minute that class is over, these people run outside and they're like... Like, honestly, if your vape addiction has gotten that bad, you should probably work towards quitting. Number 4, the Counterfeiter. These are the kind of people who always have the fakest vapes on the planet. You see them and they're like, "Bro, do you want to hit my sweet Fraser vape?" Like, no dude, I don't want to hit that. You know how fake that vape is? In case you aren't familiar with what I'm talking about, there are a lot of counterfeit vapes out there. Some of them are rip-offs of actual vape companies, and some go even further and rip off things like popular TV shows. Like, I'm pretty sure that Rick and Morty and Squid Games aren't affiliated with these in any way. Number 5, the Fog Machine. We all know who this person is. This is the stereotypical douche vapor who drives a Subaru and loves doing vape tricks. Like, I swear, this kind of person saw Vape Nation and made it their entire personality. I actually have nothing against this kind of vapor, I just think they're kind of funny. And they're fun to hang out with, if you like Subarus, I guess. Like a lot of people, I vaped a lot when I was younger. Particularly in high school. Me and my friends kind of viewed the school as our own personal vaping lounge. And at first, I was that one guy who was always asking other people to hit their vapes. But eventually, I got tired of being a freeloader and decided to get my own. One of my friends who had connections went to the vape store and picked out the cheapest mod that they had. I think it was like $13, and filled it up with his juice and brought it to me at school the next day. And the first rip I took off of it was horrible. I don't know where he found this juice, but it tasted like dish soap. He hooked me up with the Dawn Power Wash vape. And you know what I did? I vaped it anyways. I mean, it just really goes to show how desperate we were for nicotine in high school. If it could deliver us the slightest of buzzes, we would hit it. And we were prepared to overcome any obstacle to do that. Like this one time during marching band camp. We were eating lunch, and it was me and my friends Kenneth, Greg, and Harrison. Kenneth had 2 vapes on him at the time, a Nord and a Juul. The Nord's battery was charged, but the pod was empty, and the Juul battery was dead, but the pod still had some juice in it. So like a bunch of shitty engineers, we start trying to connect the Juul pod to the Nord battery. And Greg was having none of it. "Bruh, stop trying to hit it like that. It's not gonna work. Stop it before you..." Vaping Stories Part 2. During the winter, when we did symphonic band instead of marching band, Kenneth and Greg would get out of their band class and come stand in the window of my band class and give hand signals for me to come join them in the bathroom. It wasn't always great, though. Like this one day, I didn't have my vape. I had left it at home because it was out of juice, so during passing period, I decided to go to the bathroom and try and get some rips from someone. Well, imagine our surprise when one of the security guards, Robbie, comes barging into this bathroom full of like 50 people. And I did the stupidest thing possible. As soon as I saw him come in the bathroom, I darted around a corner and into an empty stall. That was the day that my dumbass got hauled off to the office and searched. But because I had left my vape at home that day, they didn't find anything on me and I didn't get in any trouble. So after that, I pretty much stopped vaping in school because I didn't want to get caught. But you bet that everywhere else I was still hitting my vape, and so were my friends. I mean, we basically made it a part of everything else that we did. Let's go vape in the car. Let's go vape in this abandoned building. Let's go vape on the roof of this church. But when you're a teenager, you make stupid decisions, and eventually those decisions catch up with you. Like this one time, I was sitting in my friend Greg's car with two guys named Carl and Jamie. These two thought it would be a good idea to shotgun a vape, which is where you take a hit, and then when you breathe out, you blow it into someone else's mouth. It's gross, I know. What we didn't know is that someone in a neighboring car was filming this, and they decided to send the video into one of those Instagram meme pages. So the next day, we go to school and we realize that this video is online, and that not only the entire school has seen it, but that the video has several 100,000 views on Instagram. Okay, so you guys really liked the first video about the 5 types of vapors, so yeah, here's part 2. The bathroom vapor is one of the most common vapors, and just about everyone is familiar with these guys. This kind of vapor can most commonly be found fumigating your local public bathroom, especially if you're still in high school. They can be a little bit annoying if you're just trying to actually use the bathroom for its intended purpose, but it's really easy to get rid of them if you want to. Just shake your keys a little bit before you go into the bathroom and watch as these guys scatter to get out of there. There's not much else to this kind of vapor, so yeah, let's move on. The best example of this kind of vapor is my friend Austin. A few years ago, we went to go see a play at our school with a couple of our other friends. We got seats that were in the very front row. So about halfway through the play, my friend Gabe pulls out his vape and starts discreetly hitting it, and of course Austin wants a rip. Austin hits this vape as loud as fucking possible and then blows the fattest cloud I've ever seen directly up in the air. Like, everyone in that theater had to have seen that. And of course, the next morning all 4 of us got called into the principal's office, and right away Austin just fessed up to it. No matter how much trouble he got in with the school, he just did not care. The best example of an aggressive vapor that I have is this one dude, Zach, who used to go to the same high school as me. Every day, me and my friends would eat lunch in our cars across the street from the high school, and Zach would show up every single time and start asking people for nicotine. But he wasn't your usual fiend. No, he would always try to barter with you with the things he had from his school lunch. And since our school had the most disgusting, inedible lunches known to man, no one ever wanted to trade with him. So he would start getting all aggressive, banging on your windows, yelling at you through the windshield, just general douchebag shit. One time he even went so far as to throw a fucking rock at my car. But don't worry, Zach eventually got a taste of his own medicine. And pretty soon, I'm gonna make a video about it. So don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss it. The engineer is the kind of vapor that me and my friend Kenneth are. Being an engineer vapor means that you can jerry-rig just about anything you want together, as long as it still functions like a vape. I already touched on this briefly in the first video I posted to this channel, where we stuffed a Juul pod into a Nord battery and somehow it worked. But let me just give you a quick rundown on some of the things that we've built over the years. Like a Nord built out of parts from 4 other Nords and 3 airsoft pellets. Or the fact that if your vape's battery isn't working, you can use a model train controller to hit the pod instead. I swear, vape repair is like half art, half engineering knowledge you pulled from YouTube. Like, just watch a couple photonic induction videos and you'll be ready to practice the fucking dark art of vape repair. Okay, so this one's not strictly a vaping story, but it's still pretty funny, so I'm gonna tell it anyways. This is another Austin story. We were eating lunch in my car, and Austin had a cart that he wanted to hit, but the battery for it was dead. And for whatever reason, the cart jammed into the Vuse charger trick just was not working. So he looks at me and just says, "Pop the hood." Austin pulls the phone charger out of his backpack that has the phone end cut off of it. If you're a vapor, you know what I'm talking about. It's the phone charger that just has the 2 exposed wires sticking out of it. He cuts the other end off of it, so now it's just exposed wires on both ends. He lifts the hood of my car and ties one set of the wires to the battery terminals, and he touches the other set of wires to the cart and takes a hit straight off of the car battery. For very obvious reasons, I cannot recommend doing this yourself, but at the time, we were all cheering him on. And when we went back to class, Austin was the highest I think I have ever seen another human being. Alright, here we go. Vaping Stories Part 3. Now, if you watched the first two Vaping Stories videos, you'd know that I almost got caught vaping one time in the bathroom, and that's why I stopped doing it at school. But that didn't stop most of my friends from vaping in school, though. And when the school started cracking down on it, people started getting busted left and right. And no one got caught more times than my friend Justin. I mean, there was a point where Justin was getting his ass carted off to the office about once a week. And getting all that lunch detention in ISS, and not to mention your vapes always getting confiscated, really sucks. So he came up with a really weird, but in retrospect also really smart, way of not getting busted. One day after school, he came up to me and he was like, "Yo bro, can you hold my shit for a little bit? I got an idea." "Yeah bro, I got you. What were you thinking of doing?" "I'll explain later, just watch this." "Hey Robbie, let me hit your jewel." He straight up gave himself a one-way ticket to the principal's office. But since all of his vapes were with me, they didn't find anything when they searched him. So he didn't get in any trouble. So the next day rolls around and we're hanging out again after school. And Justin again goes up to the security guard Robbie and asks him, "So Robbie, how about a hit of that jewel, huh?" "Oh, that's a good one, Justin. I'm no fool. I don't jewel in school." Bro, he found the fucking cheat code. Robbie thought Justin was joking the entire time. So from that point forward, every time Justin saw Robbie, he'd always ask him to hit his jewel. And every time, Robbie would respond with some shit like, "Oh, I'm cool, cause I don't jewel in school." Meanwhile, Justin would have like 3 Sorens and a cart hanging out in his backpack. But Justin never got searched again after that, because anytime he was suspected of having a vape, he could just play it off like a joke.
Hey, Jake! Give me that mod!
Like, I know it sounds like a really weird strategy, but it was really smart. But we only had to worry about hiding the vapes when we were at school. Once we got off school property, we didn't have to hide it anymore, and that's where most of the shenanigans took place. Like in the parking lot right across the street from the high school. We'd usually eat lunch and park our cars over there, as well as hotbox the fuck out of Gabe's Subaru.
Kenneth, I can't even see Kenneth.
I can't see your eyes. Damn, this video doesn't do it fucking justice.
But we weren't the only people who ate lunch over there, and one of the other people who ate there was Zach. Now, I've already talked about Zach in another video, and how he was an absolute fucking scumbag, but I never mentioned how we ended up getting our revenge on him. See, one day I was eating lunch in my friend Kenneth's Mustang, and Zach was doing his usual rounds of just being a fucking bottom feeder. But this day was very special because Zach wasn't just looking for a handout, he was looking to buy something. And on that fateful day, Zach was going around asking everyone if they had a jewel they were willing to sell.
Huh, I got a jewel, but it doesn't work.
Oh shit, really?
Yeah, I took it apart after I dropped it in the sink. But I broke a wire, so I put everything back together and it's been sitting in that cup holder ever since.
Huh. But Zach doesn't know it's broken.
You're right. I think I'm about to scam the fuck out of this dude.
And that was the day that Kenneth sold Zach a broken jewel for $40. And from that point forward, anytime we needed money, we knew we could just offload all our old shit off of Zach for more than we paid for it. Because Zach was so bad with money, and it was super easy to trick him into thinking something was a good deal.
Hey Zach, I've got this certified pre-owned Novopod for you. Only used once and definitely not burned beyond recognition. And because you're a cool dude, I'll give you a homie discount and let you have it for the low price of $15.
But ripping off Zach was not the only vaping thing we were doing outside of school. We were blowing clouds in band, we were vaping at scout events.
It's colder than balls.
And if you want to hear more of these stories, let me know down in the comments and I'll make a part 4. Okay, so if you've seen any of my vaping stories videos, you'd know that in high school, me and my friends were pretty heavy vapors, and that we were doing that pretty much everywhere that we went. But we ended up doing something stupid that got all of us busted. You see, since a lot of my friends were scouts, one of the places that we were vaping a lot was scout events. And on this night in particular, I was with my friends Kenneth, Harrison, and Eric. And Harrison was in a mood to go exploring. And one of the few places that we had not explored yet was the roof of the church where the scout meetings were held. So we decided that that night we were going to go explore the roof of the church. And for the first 20 minutes or so, things were chill. We were climbing around, having a good time. And then Eric asked, "Hey yo, Kenneth, you got your vape?"
Eric, why the fuck would I not have my vape?
So we start hitting Kenneth's vape, and immediately we start doing some shit that is a bad idea.
Yo guys, those pipes are the vents to the bathrooms. We should hotbox them from above.
And even though what we were doing wasn't the brightest, we figured that it wasn't likely we would get caught, because we were sitting in one of the valleys on the roof, like there was no way anyone was gonna see it. At least that's how it would have played out had Kenneth not taken a video of it. You see, Kenneth took a video of what we were doing and posted it on his Snapchat story, which again shouldn't have been an issue because none of the people on there were snitches. But what we didn't know is that one of our fellow scouts, Iggy, who was on Kenneth's story, had super strict parents and they made him install one of those apps that allowed them to see whatever was on his phone. So Iggy's parents saw the video and Iggy's dad was the scoutmaster of our troop, and he was gonna rat us the fuck out to all of our parents. And Iggy, who knew all of this was about to happen, forewarned us about what was coming. Yo, guys, my dad knows everything. He's gonna tell all of your parents about what you were doing on the roof. Oh shit. Fuck, this is bad. Okay, I think I might have an idea. Okay, so Kenneth, you're the only one actually on video vaping on your story. The rest of us are just there. We're not actually on video vaping. And your parents have caught you vaping before and you didn't get in much trouble. So here's my plan. We tell our parents that we were on the roof, but Kenneth was the only one vaping. Kenneth doesn't get in much trouble because his parents don't care about the vaping, and we only get in trouble for being on the roof.
That plan will work, but our parents are gonna search us, so you guys need to make sure we don't have any of your shit in your rooms.
That's a good idea, Kenneth, but who's gonna hang on to all our vapes? Yeah, Jake, I'll hang on to it. I don't think my parents will search my room. Awesome. Thank you, Harrison. Alright, we're all gonna give our shit to Harrison, and we're gonna fucking pray that none of us left anything in our rooms. And for a little while there, we were feeling alright. We felt like we had just dodged a massive bullet. I mean, it wasn't until later that day when I was at home watching YouTube videos that I realized something might be wrong. Oh shit, I think I have that bottle of green apple juice in that shoe under my bed. I should go hide that real quick. Wait, where is it? Wait, it's not in the shoe? Shit! Harrison, it's Jake. Dude, my mom found that bottle of juice that was under my bed. We are so fucked. You need to take all those vapes that we gave you and hide it somewhere that no one is gonna find it because your parents are gonna search your room, dude.
Jake, can you come downstairs? We need to have a talk about something.
Dude, I'm about to get my ass whooped. Hide that shit fast so the same doesn't happen to you. Good luck. And that was the day that Harrison buried all of our vapes in a 5-gallon bucket. I came downstairs to face the worst whooping of my life, and Kenneth and Eric, they kinda just got away with it. And a few months later, after the storm had settled and I had been released from the gulag, we all went over to Harrison's house, dug up the 5-gallon bucket that had all our vapes in it, and proceeded to start doing the exact same stupid shit all over again. Types of Vapors Part 3. Now, you guys really seem to like the Types of Vapors videos, and I'm gonna be honest, I really enjoy making them. So yeah, here we go with a part 3. And starting off, we've got Burned Brian. Now, Brian is the kind of guy whose vape is always burned. And I'm not talking about like, ooh, it's starting to taste a little funky burned. No, Brian's vape always tastes like a straight up campfire. And for some reason, he'll brag about it too. He'll pull up and be like, dude, I haven't changed this coil in like 6 months. Like, yeah, I can tell. Your vape tastes like a fucking smoked brisket. Going way too long without changing a coil and then bragging about it is like bragging that you went 30,000 miles without an oil change. Like, bro, that isn't something you should be proud of. Next up, we've got Disposable David. Now, Disposable David's the kind of guy who spends $200 on disposables a month and has a drawer in his room that is just packed to the brim with the spent ones. Like, David is going through a new disposable every 3 or 4 days and becoming the #1 source of e-waste in his community. And I feel like I can't bring up disposables without mentioning just how fake most of them are. Like, even the legit ones are sketchy, but the peak of the vapes that you should not be hitting have to be the ones that are just rip-offs of other products. Like, no matter how desperate you are for a vape, it isn't worth it to hit the Squid Box vape. Like, I guarantee that vape is full of some chemicals that your lungs are not really gonna like. Like, look at this. R&M Crystal? No. Be aware of fake vapes? You don't say. Like, what in the fuck? Next up, we've got Samuel the Salesman. Samuel's the guy who's always trying to sell you something, usually in the school bathroom. And honestly, Samuel's probably the one who's selling David all of his NFT disposables. Now, I can't lie. I have been Samuel the Salesman a few times. And I wasn't buying like bulk lots of 50 or anything to sell at school, although my friend Elliot was. But on a few occasions, my friend Kenneth and I sold some vapes to the school's biggest douchebags, and we absolutely scammed them. So yeah, I wouldn't recommend buying your vapes from Samuel the Salesman. Next, we have Nick Sick Nathan. Now, Nathan's the kind of guy who overdoes it a little bit with the vape and ends up getting super sick. Like this one time I was hanging out with Kenneth, Gabe, and Hunter was like, bro, I'm gonna take the biggest rip I can. Dog, I don't feel so good. So yeah, know your limits and don't get Nick sick. And finally, we've got free handout Henry. Now, Henry's the kind of guy who doesn't have a vape, never pitches in to buy vape juice, but thinks for some reason that he's entitled to get a hit of your vape anytime he wants it. Like, you'll be sitting in class, getting your ass kicked by the quadratic formula or whatever it is you're learning, and you'll go to the bathroom for 5 or 10 minutes just to hit your vape and just have some peace. And you go in there and you find 3 pests who are all trying to buddy up to you just to get a hit of your vape.
Yo, dude, we were like best friends in kindergarten, man.
Dude, I have never met you before in my life.
Nah, man, we were like best friends in elementary. By the way, you think I can hit that vape?
Dude, back off. Go find your own.
Yo, you think I could get a hit of that too? Well, you think I could get a rip of that too, mate?
Hey, Sonny, save some for the rest of us.
Guys, back the fuck off. You're not getting to hit the vape. Yo, bro, you think I could get a hit of that? But yeah, don't be Henry. And if you know of any other kinds of vapors, let me know in the comments down below, and I'll make a part 4 talking about them.